On July 20th, 1969, humanity took its first step beyond our home planet. The world watched in awe as Apollo 11 made history, fulfilling one of humanity's greatest dreams, landing a human on the moon. This incredible achievement, known as one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, as a monumental symbol of human ingenuity, bravery, and determination. But how did we get there? What was the journey like? And what made this mission not just a technical marvel, but a defining moment in human history? Welcome to Amazing World Facts, where today we explore the first moon landing, a giant leap. The story of the first moon landing begins in the tense atmosphere of the Cold War. Following the end of World War II, two superpowers emerged, the United States and the Soviet Union. As both nations vied for global dominance, their rivalry extended beyond Earth and into space. In 1957, the Soviet Union shocked the world by launching Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, into orbit. It was a bold statement, a signal that they had taken the lead in space exploration. The launch of Sputnik marked the beginning of the space race, a competition for technological supremacy between the two nations. President Kennedy's words ignited a national effort. The goal was clear: land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the 1960s. It was a colossal challenge, one that would push the limits of science and technology. NASA responded to Kennedy's challenge with the Apollo program, a series of missions designed to develop the skills, technology, and experience necessary for a manned lunar landing. But this was no small task. The spacecraft had to be capable of navigating 238,155 miles, 384,400 kilometers to the moon, landing safely and returning to Earth, all while keeping the astronauts alive in the vacuum of space. The development of the Saturn V rocket, the most powerful rocket ever built, was crucial to the success of the mission. Standing at 363 feet, 110 meters tall, and weighing over 6 million pounds, it was capable of delivering the spacecraft into orbit and beyond. The Apollo missions that preceded Apollo 11 tested every aspect of the mission plan. Apollo 7 successfully demonstrated the command and service module in Earth orbit, and Apollo 8 made history by becoming the first manned mission to orbit the moon. Finally, with the launch of Apollo 10 in May 1969, NASA conducted a complete dress rehearsal for the lunar landing, coming within 47,000 feet of the moon's surface. The stage was set for Apollo 11. The Apollo 11 mission was entrusted to three brave astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Each played a critical role in the mission. Neil Armstrong, a former Navy fighter pilot and NASA test pilot, was chosen to command the mission. Known for his calm demeanor, Armstrong was tasked with the historic responsibility of becoming the first human to step onto the lunar surface. Buzz Aldrin, the lunar module pilot, was a skilled engineer and astronaut. His background in orbital mechanics made him the perfect candidate to assist with the landing. Michael Collins, the command module pilot, would remain in orbit around the moon aboard the command module Columbia, ensuring the safe return of his fellow astronauts. Together, these three men would forever etch their names in history. On July 16, 1969, at 9:32 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Saturn V rocket carrying Apollo 11 roared to life. Over 7.5 million pounds of thrust propelled the spacecraft into the heavens, watched by millions of people around the world. The launch was flawless. Within minutes, Apollo 11 was in orbit around Earth. From there, the spacecraft's third stage, known as the SIVB, ignited to send the crew on a trajectory toward the moon. The journey would take 3 days. On July 19th, Apollo 11 entered lunar orbit. The next day, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin transferred into the lunar module, nicknamed Eagle, preparing for the descent to the surface. Michael Collins remained in orbit aboard the Columbia, patiently awaiting their return. At 4:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on July 20th, 1969, the lunar module touched down in the Sea of Tranquility. It was an emotional moment. After years of preparation, the first human beings had finally reached another world. Six and a half hours after landing, Neil Armstrong opened the hatch of the lunar module. As he descended the ladder, the world watched with bated breath. Then, at 10:56 p.m. Eastern Time, Armstrong's boots made contact with the lunar surface. With those iconic words, Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon. Minutes later, Buzz Aldrin joined him on the lunar surface, describing the scene as magnificent desolation. For 2 hours and 15 minutes, Armstrong and Aldrin explored the moon, collecting samples, conducting experiments, and planting the American flag. Their achievements transcended national pride. This was a victory for all of humanity. After spending 21 hours and 36 minutes on the lunar surface, the astronauts returned to the Eagle and lifted off from the moon to rendezvous with Michael Collins aboard the Columbia. On July 24, 1969, the crew of Apollo 11 splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, bringing their historic journey to a successful conclusion. Apollo 11 was more than just a technical triumph. It was a testament to the indomitable human spirit. It showed what we can achieve when we work together, dream big, and push the boundaries of what we think is possible. The first moon landing opened the door to a new era of space exploration, inspiring generations to reach for the stars. As we look back on that momentous day, we are reminded that even the seemingly impossible can be achieved. The moon landing was a giant leap, not just for the astronauts who made the journey, but for all of us, as we continue to explore the endless frontier of space. Thank you for joining us today on Amazing World Facts as we explored the story of the first moon landing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible stories from the world of science, history, and exploration.